Okay, we're about a week and a half into the 2013 season and pundits are giving their opinions on players left and right. So who do you listen to? First of all, fantasy sports is now a $3 billion industry and one of the fastest growing stories around. So naturally, there are companies popping up trying to cash in on the craze. But you need to be careful where you get your advice from and who you're taking it from. The person you're listening to needs to have a track record and can't be some sports fan that writes an article on a website or someone scraping the internet for news and then giving his opinion on it. That's one of the great things here at RotoExperts. The quality of our staff is second to none, and the industry recognizes it. We have a Fantasy Sports Writer Association Hall of Famer, multiple Fantasy Sports Writer Award winners, we're credentialed in ballparks, have a national radio platform, and will soon be launching our new Fantasy Sports Television network. With that said, I'm going to read you a quote from one of the larger sites around written this Sunday from someone without a track record and show you how following uneducated advice can get you in trouble. Here's the quote. Michael Young's slow start only solidifies last season's struggles were a sign of things to come from the veteran infielder. The Phillies' Young is owned in 86% of fantasy leagues. That's higher than Manny Machado, Matt Carpenter, Trevor Plouffe, Jed Jerko, and Lonnie Chisenhall. And to tell you the truth, I'd own every one of those third basemen over Young. Now the first thing you'll notice is that first sentence isn't even grammatically correct. That speaks to the attention to detail and the quality of information. Now that's a brazen call to make after just 5 games. The truth here is that rumors of Michael Young's imminent demise have been greatly exaggerated. Since that thought was published, Young is 7 for 13 with a double, triple, home run, and 3 RBI. And contrary to the thoughts of the ignorant, Young, who qualifies all over the place, is hitting .345 on the year with a .552 slugging percentage and could be a very valuable player to have on your roster. The veteran is no longer being shuffled around from position to position or stuck in DH purgatory, and hitting in the number 5 spot, he'll have plenty of RBI opportunities. Anyone who doesn't want Michael Young can trade him to me. Be careful who you listen to out there. It makes a difference. And since you're watching here, I know you're in the right place. All right, moving on, Mets catcher John Buck continued his sizzling start with his 4th home run of the season last night. This was the 2nd time he's homered in back-to-back games in just 8 contests, and he's now hitting .393 with 4 home runs and 14 RBI. I know it seems like the party will never end, but there couldn't possibly be an example of a better time to trade a player and get maximum value. Stephen Drew was activated by the Red Sox today, and barring injury, which is always a real possibility for him, he'll be the everyday shortstop from here on out. It's a thin position, and Drew is only owned in about 35% of leagues. Fenway is a great park to hit in, and when he's healthy, he can contribute in all 5 categories. Drew could prove to be a stealth pickup. And speaking of shortstops, Ian Desmond hit his 2nd home run of the year last night. Desmond came out of nowhere last season, proving to be one of the best fantasy shortstops in the game. He's got a great lineup around him, and given that he missed about 30 games due to injury last season, I expect him to duplicate, if not exceed, last year's numbers with a full season's worth of at-bats. And sticking with the Nationals, Adam LaRoche homered twice last night. LaRoche is a proven 25-100 guy who always seems to get overlooked in fantasy. Don't hesitate to use him in daily games against right-handed pitchers. And on the injury front, as I mentioned before the season started, something was fishy about the information coming out of St. Louis with regard to closer Jason Motte. And as it turns out, my intuition was correct. An MRI has now revealed a tear in his ulnar collateral ligament, and more than likely he will require Tommy John surgery. Why didn't they just do the MRI a month ago when he reported discomfort? I don't get it. For better or worse, for the time being, Mitchell Boggs is the closer in St. Louis. He got the save last night, but gave up 6 earned runs the day before. Not a big fan. And Yankees outfielder Curtis Granderson, who was on the DL with a broken right forearm, received clearance Tuesday to swing a bat underwater. He's expected to be activated for the Lost City of Atlantis series. Incarcerated Bob writes, "You picked Brandon Belt as a sleeper. When is he going to wake up?" Really? They let inmates use the internet to play fantasy baseball and heckle show hosts? Look, the guy missed 3 games the first week because he was sick and couldn't get off the toilet. It's early, have some patience. You have nowhere to go, you're in jail. You of all people should understand that. You just keep making license plates. Belt will be smashing doubles all over the park, driving in runs before you make parole. Yesterday I spoke about knowing when to steer clear of legendary players who are past their prime. Tim Lincecum is one of those. The freak will be 29 in June, and while that's not old for a baseball player, Lincecum simply has too many miles on himself at this point. After 2 starts, he has 11 strikeouts, but also has 11 walks, a clear sign that something is not right. There's a reason his hometown Seattle Mariners and 9 other teams passed on the 2006 Golden Spikes Award winner in the draft. At 5'11" and 170 pounds soaking wet, many felt that he would break down. And it's not like San Francisco went all in on him. Even after 2 Cy Young seasons, they let him go to arbitration rather than sign him to a long-term deal. The Giants saw the handwriting on the wall too and felt they could catch lightning in a bottle, and they did. Lincecum will make $22 million in his final arbitration year and will be a free agent after the season, making considerably less money next year no matter where he plays. The only reason Lincecum is on the Giants roster is that they owe him guaranteed money. You don't have that problem with your fantasy team, so there's no reason he should be on your roster. For RotoExperts, I'm Mike Cardano.